own a racehorse with anyone. In fact, Dara has far better ways of avoiding tax and laundering his money. Despite having nothing to do with any of Sir Alex's horses, Dara does pay towards the upkeep and stable cost of Wayne Rooney and owns Rio Ferdinand's stud rights. So at the end of that round, it's Lee's team who are looking decidedly out of their depth, trailing as they are 3-1. Our next round is called Ring of Truth, a simple title, simple idea, but still a massive obstacle for our panellists. So to David's team and a trip down memory lane to 1985.
Hello, Suzanne Haywood. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, Mike. Hello, Elton.
Hello, how are you?
All right, thanks. I just want to ask you, Elton, how is married life suiting you?
Married life is fine. We've been married just over a year now, and it's flown by, which is a good sign. And I compare it to when I was on tour last year, and it really dragged on a long time, and the marriage seems to have just flown by. So we're really very, very happy, and that's really nice for you to ask.
Oh, and Elton,
Yeah?
does Manata think you have any bad habits?
Oh, lots. Yeah, she's trying to get me to stop doing lots of things, but I won't tell you what they are.
I do like the fact that, you know, in 1985, we all thought he was straight. Everyone in the nation thought he was straight, but there was one kid that knew the truth. And just sarcastically rung up Superstrong and go, yeah, how's this marriage going, Elton? And, have you got any habits that she doesn't like, your wife?
Yes, that was Elton John appearing on Saturday Superstore in the days when he was so far inside the closet that he was paying regular visits to Narnia. Elton continued to be happily married right up until he realised that his wife didn't have a penis. So, here is your related fact for David's team. David Furnish has an Elton tracker sat-nav, so you can see exactly where Elton John is at any time.
So that would actually involve there being Elton being tagged in some way?
Yes, it was developed by David Furnish's brother. He's an electrical engineer.
Right.
You are generally saying that he went up to him with some sort of, like out of Mission Impossible 3, and to the back of his neck going, pfft, like that. And now...
Or some kind of swan collar.
Almost a bejewelled anklet, that's all I need.
A bejewelled anklet? You do this with much more style.
This isn't the Antique Roadshow now, Michael.
Is this a device that's actually been implanted in Elton John, or is it just in his bag?
No,
right,
it's
so
a button-sized transmitter. It came about as a joke because Elton apparently kept on losing his mobile phone, and so David would never know where he was.
They strapped him to a table and fired a microchip into his ear.
Still not a solution to the phone-losing problem, though, is it? I know where I am, but where's my fucking phone? Maybe just Elton John should just concentrate.
You know, you put Elton tracker in inverted commas. Does that mean if I need to buy one myself, I have to ask for an Elton tracker? Is that that's the actual
If you're wanting to track Elton John, yes. That would be weird.
Can we all do it? Can we all just go and see where Elton is at any given time?
Presumably we could all hack into the signal that the button-sized transmitter is sending out, and we'd all know where he is all the time.
Last thing at night, I'd like to be able to turn to it and just to glow, just to see. There's Elton there. Safe at home.
I think you open a can of worms if you hack into the system as well and have it on while you're in bed, because, like a horror film, one night you would wake up and the chip would be in your house. You say Rocket Man 5 times in the mirror, he turns up.
So, David, are you thinking this is plausible?
I do think it's quite plausible, but also, obviously, it might
I think it's doable. I don't think that's plausible that he would constantly track Elton John wherever he is.
We have to work out whether it's with Elton's agreement, of course.
I'd like to think that Elton knows about it, given that we all now know about it. It's clearly...
I'd hate him to find out watching this show.
So you need to come to a decision.
Michael?
Yes, it has this kind of whiff of verisimilitude.
I think he's saying it's true.
Yeah. I don't believe it. I don't think it's true.
Oh, it's a casting vote. I'm going to say, plausible though it is, I'm going to say I think it's a lie.
Saying it's a lie, and I can tell you that it is, in fact, a lie. Absolutely right. Well done. Yes, David Furnish does not have an Elton tracker sat-nav. Elton and David's relationship is founded upon trust. A trust that Elton set up in the mid-90s, so David would never have to work again. So at the end of that round, it's Lee's team who appear to be losing the will to win. Behind as they are, 4-2. Our next round is called This Is My, in direct contravention of any known grammar. David's team will each claim to have a unique link to tonight's mystery guest, but two of the panellists are lying, so it's up to Lee's team to debrief, deduce and decide. So please welcome this week's special guest person, Lee. So, David, what is Lee to you?
This is Lee, and for the past 6 months, he's been teaching me how to improve my memory.
Michael, perhaps you'd like to explain how you know Lee?
This is Lee, who is my driver, and he has also appeared on episodes of Minder.
And finally, Dara, your relationship with Lee.
This is Lee. He's actually my gardener, and he was introduced to me by Andrew Lloyd Webber.
So there you are. A mental coach, according to David, a driver come actor, if we believe Michael, or a Lloyd Webber recommended gardener, according to Dara. Lee's team, where would you like to begin?
Dara, where do you live?
Where do I live? I live in West London.
And so how was he introduced to you by Andrew Lloyd Webber?
Well, it wasn't like that we're all at a party and Webber goes, "Have you met my gardener, Lee?" Yeah. I did Parkinson, and Andrew Lloyd Webber was on it with Tim Rice once, and you're making polite chit-chat in the green room afterwards, and I told him where I lived. I said, "Oh, yeah, I used to live around there. How are you finding it?" And we had a very dull conversation about how it's kind of grown up, the house, because it's got a garden.
I'm just finding it hard to believe that it's a quite exciting time, isn't it? You're on Parkinson, that's quite exciting. You're meeting Andrew Lloyd Webber, he's famous, that's quite exciting. At what point do you go, I loved Phantom of the Opera. Do you know any good gardeners? You know, it's just... I'm finding that hard to believe, you know.
How long's Lee been your driver?
Oh, blimey. 18 years.
And what
18 years?
What car does he drive?
Mercedes.
And which seat do you sit on?
I have a funny thing. I like to sit at the back of the car on the left-hand side so I can do a bit of homework.
Which you could never do on the right, obviously.
Well, then you've got the driver right
in front of you. And you might need to ask him a question about your homework.
Does,
And if he goes like that, it's Brazil. That's fine. But he'd ask his head to swivel all the way round, and he then wouldn't be concentrating on the road. So he could be telling the truth.
Yes.
What did he play in Minder?
Oh, as you can imagine, some kind of heavy.
So you've been in the car with him for 18 years. He's the same driver the whole time. You're not right. So what's his surname?
Tippett.
Great answer. Great answer.
See, that's how the lying mind works, doesn't it? Driver, tip, make it bigger. Tip it! It was either that or honky horn, wasn't it?
David, could you just tell me again what your one was? It was the last 6 months.
Lee has been teaching me how to improve my memory.
OK, how do you do that?
Well, I go to a monthly one-to-one class with Lee, and the aim is basically to stop the natural deterioration of the brain.
Can you give me an example of the kind of techniques he teaches you?
Well, it's to try and remember things like lines for a show. Essentially, you go on a mental journey, and you sort of remember it on the basis of a place that you know very well. And so you associate different parts of, you know, say a speech you're trying to learn with bits with objects that are in your kitchen.
If I said to you 7 items, you could picture them in a story, couldn't you? So we've got a dog.
Possibly.
Well,
Maybe not. Maybe not. You know.
What, David, if you get to 6, I'll believe you.
OK.
Dog, duck, house, car, circle, square, triangle. Can you repeat them back to me, please?
Dog, duck, house, car, circle, square, triangle. That was incredibly easy. I didn't have to use any technique at all. Can you say, the apple is there? The apple is there. How does he remember it?
Do you know what? I've realised I've got a bad memory because I can only remember the names of animals and shapes.
Can we have a look at Lee's hands?
Yes, you can take a look at... Yeah?
Can we? They look like nice hands. He's not gardener.
OK, well, we need an answer. So Lee's team is this person.
Michael.
David's brain enhancer, Michael's acting chauffeur, or Dara's green-fingered friend.
Yeah, I can see him. That's the thing about him, isn't it? He looks both like a driver and someone that used to be in Minder. I think we'll go for... Well, should we go for Michael's driver?
Perhaps our guest Lee can tell us who you really are.
I'm Michael's driver.